As Vice President Kamala Harris finally pays a visit to the border, it seems the media's love affair with the VP may be on the rocks. Even the liberal Los Angeles Times ran this headline, quote, "Essential politics, failure of elections bills shows limits of Kamala Harris's influence." And the article does not hold back, noting the, quote, "justifiable skepticism after President Biden tapped Harris to lead the administration's voting rights push," adding that her lack of any significant engagement in the Senate has not been a surprise. Quite a difference from January, when the Times unveiled Covering Kamala Harris, a beat dedicated to her historic rise to the White House. Tammy Bruce is a Fox News contributor and president of Independent Women's Voice, of which she has. Tammy, good to see you. First of all, compare yesteryear in January to now.
Well, obviously, they had an opinion about what she was going to accomplish. They lived in a world where they imagined what she was going to do. The problem is, because they are propagandists for the Democrats, they never really see clearly the politicians they're covering. They never really see or thought about seeing what Kamala Harris accomplished or did not accomplish, as Californians will tell you, when she was Attorney General and when she was operating in California. So then you're really driven by your imaginings and by your hopes, by things that are not about real accomplishments or the real nature of someone. And that can be embarrassing. It leads the press to do what they did, which is pump her up, presuming she was everything they imagined. Well, she's clearly not. The problem is, she not only is not the wish fantasy they had, she's not doing a good job. And that's what's concerning them, I think. She was appointed to the border, as you've been discussing. It certainly has dropped that ball, has not performed well, is defensive, does embarrassing statements. The Lester Holt interview is an example, and that's concerning them. And then, of course, what would you expect when she was appointed by Biden, as you noted, to be the leader in the voting rights legislation? Everybody was joking, well, that means that's not going to happen. And it was true. It didn't happen. So I think it comes down to some media realizing, that if you're not, this is the issue about criticism. Criticism helps move people forward. It helps you understand what's gone wrong, what you need to change. And if you're not being criticized, if people are cleaning your shoes for you, then you're going to continue to make the same mistakes.
So, Tammy, just real quickly, because I want to get to the next point here, but you know, the DOJ just a short time ago announced that it's going after the state of Georgia in a lawsuit over its voting rights. I mean, is that a sign that they're now kind of picking up where, you see where I'm going with that? Like, I thought she was in charge of that. And she's a former AG of a big state.
Yeah, so, yeah, she sure is. The problem is, of course, obviously Georgia would expect that. Yes. This has, I think, been embarrassing for her team. By the way, she's advised by her sister. And this becomes a problem when it comes to issues of groupthink and people who would actually be willing to be critical. Her sister Maya also was a major advisor for Hillary Clinton's 2016 campaign. And we know how well that went. So this becomes a problem. She seems to be, I would argue, isolating herself from the Biden administration, and also as a result from being able to do a good job.
Wow. And he continues to praise her, the president. The media may be down on the vice president, but they're still high on White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki. MSNBC's Nicole Wallace, a former White House communications director under President Bush, gushing over the president's chief spokesperson.
You get such high marks from the vast majority of the people in that room. You spar a little bit with some of the president's detractors, but I'm sure privately even they give you grudging respect. How do you feel like it's going? I used to have some heated debates with reporters, and they would yell at me, and I would say, when I walk back through those doors, I am the only one that cares if you get a call back today. So stand your ground is my only advice
there
to
you go. Don't worry. I'm also not going to allow the briefing room to be a forum for propaganda or false information. So there's that. You stand your ground on as often as you can.
What is that?
That's like a girl gang, right? I mean, they're buddies. And we talk about shiny shoes. Jen Psaki's got to be blinded at this point. when it comes to what's going on with her.
Wow.
Americans have seen the media become effectively propagandists. And that's a problem for the democracy because Americans rely on some objective information coming out of the news so that we can make decisions about what our lives are going to be. They play a very important role. And when you see that collapsing into propaganda and people see that, you know you're not getting the information you need. With all the complaints we had about how the media handled President Trump, you had on one extreme lies and the movement of narratives from the left with that president. Here, you pretty much have silence or fawning over these individuals. Americans then know to be suspicious, and we need people to be able to trust the news. But right now, there are few outlets. It's, I think, why you and I are here at Fox that are willing to do this in the right way.
Press in and don't make a scene, as my mom used to say. Just go get the facts. I was waiting for them to braid each other's hair, which I like a good hair braiding situation. I've got girls in my household.
Sure.
Anyway, Tammy, thank you very much.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.